In the first video, we talked about configurations of product, inventory, and manufacturing. This video will talk about the manufacturing resource planning. When you go to the manual, you will see here the manufacturing process. We talked about the configuration in the first video. I just briefly summarize. We have configuration of products and product categories. You have configurations of inventory, stock journals, and inventory, for example, minimum and maximum stock. You have configuration in manufacturing, bill of material, work centers, and routings. Now we are going to talk about the manufacturing process flow. This drawing gives you some idea what this all covers. You have a manufacturing flow which is starting from the sales forecast. We are creating stock planning. From the stock planning, we create actually purchase orders automatically for raw material. We create production orders, planning, orders and planning. The production planning is shown in the Gantt chart. We have the possibility to create one main production order, which is based on the sales forecast, number of motorcycles to be delivered in one period of time. This production order can actually be split in different child orders. So, for example, if you have one forecast for 1 or 2 months or 1 quarter, it depends on how you are doing the forecast. This forecast can come from the different showrooms. That forecast will create one production order, and that production order can then further be split in different child orders, which can be planned via the Gantt chart. And once you are satisfied with the planning, you confirm all the orders, and from the orders you will be able to request delivery of raw material to the different workstations on your production line. So that is actually the manufacturing resource planning, which we are going to cover in this video. For the purchase order of raw material, we have an incoming inspection. Material goes either to scrap when it is non-conform, or it goes to raw material warehouse when it passes the incoming inspection. We deliver the raw material to the different locations in the production line, the step 1, step 2, and step 3 we talked about. At the end of the production line, we receive the finished goods. When we receive the finished goods, we copy that to a service item. We will talk about that later. And then the item or the motorcycle will pass the quality control. When there is some repair, it will go to repair location. When everything is all right, it will go to finished good warehouse. So now what we are going to talk about is about the sales forecast and how we transform the sales forecast and how we create purchase orders, how we do the planning of the production, and how we create production orders. Manufacturing orders are either based on forecast, or they can also be made based on order. In this case, for scooter or motorcycles, the manufacturing is not based on an order. It is based on forecast. That means different showrooms or different branches can create a forecast, and based on this forecast, manufacturing orders will be created. Creation of forecast is done in the sales module. So I will go now to the sales module. And in the item here, in the menu here, you have one menu item which is called sales. You click the sales forecast and you create a new forecast. You give it a number, forecast 003, for example. You select the product, the finished goods, which is motorcycle deluxe. Customer you don't have to enter. From the date, let's say 1st of March. To date, you say here end of March. Unit of measure, you click pieces because it was configured like that. You say here you will sell 7 motorcycles, for example. I don't take the number too high or too big, you know. Then, but you can enter 100 if you like. From the warehouse, you can select the showroom, or in this case, I will just select the finished good warehouse. And then I save this. So now the forecast is saved. On the top of the screen, you have an option button. If you click that option button, you can select Update Planned Stock. While you do that, stock move has been created. The stock move, which is planned, is moving the motorcycle from finished good to customer location. And here you see the date, the due date, that means the end date of your forecast. So this forecast has been created for Motorcycle Deluxe. 7 planned sales for that period. The motorcycle will be delivered from finished goods motorcycle. You can see that this sales forecast has created a stock move, a planned stock move. We plan to sell 7 motorcycles for that period. If you click it here, you will see that this is the forecast which we have created. It's mentioned here planned remaining quantity is 5. Actually 5. Why is it 5? When you go to the inventory module and you go to stock move, you will see here you have the stock move 7 items which we planned to sell in this period. When you go to the reports, you go to the stock card and you check the product, finished good product, which is Motorcycle Deluxe, in a period up to end of March. You see that we had 2 motorcycles in stock, so that means the planned stock is actually 7 minus 2, so we have to produce 5 motorcycles because you have already 2 in stock. In the inventory module, you have, when you go to the menu, submenu, you have actually one item which is called stock planning based on sales forecast. So now what we are going to do, we are going to plan the purchase of material based on the sales forecast which we have created. So if you click this menu item, you come to this screen, you select the motorcycle, which is a finished good. So product category finished goods. We select the period, end of March, run the report. Here you see product code of the motorcycle deluxe. You have forecast quantity, which is 7. As you saw before, you have quantity in stock 2. We have a minimum quantity of 1, which we have to maintain. So the missing quantities which we have to foresee is 6, which is 7 minus 2 minus 1 plus 1. So that means 6 units. The lead ordering time of this motorcycle is 10 days. This has been configured before in the configuration of the finished goods. You have a button which is called Create Orders. If you click this button, it will create actually the purchase orders. Here, purchase order has been created, production order has also been created, and the production plan was successfully created after you have confirmed the purchase of raw material. Let's have a look to the manufacturing orders and the purchase orders created from the stock planning and forecast. To look to the manufacturing orders, you have to go to the manufacturing module, select production and select production orders. Here you see that we have 2 production orders created, one for the mirror and one for the motorcycle deluxe. The due date of the delivery of the motorcycles was 31st of March. So for the manufacturing lead time, we have mentioned that we have a lead time of 10 days. So that means the production of the motorcycle should be finished on the 21st of March. This gives us another 10 days to process the order, to get the order into in the finished good warehouse and to deliver to the destination. So there are actually only 6 motorcycles to be produced. So that means this is less than 1 day. Actually, this time, the time between the due date and the order date is actually calculated based on the throughput time. The throughput time is the time which is coming from the routings, the time required for every assembly step or every step in the manufacturing process. In this case, for 6 motorcycles, we only need 1 day. You see here that the mirror has to be ready or delivered on the 20th, because on the 20th we should have all the raw material for the production so that we are able to deliver on the 21st. The lead time for manufacturing for that mirror was 7 days, which is configured in the product, in the semi-finished product. So that means that the order date should be on the 13th of March. So those dates are actually calculated based on the throughput time of the manufacturing process and on the lead time of the manufacturing. Have a look now to the purchase order which have been created automatically. To do that, you have to go to purchasing, go to purchase orders. The purchase orders will be created in draft, and here you see that you have 3 purchase orders. One for supplier number 1. You can see this is for the washers, 12 washers. You have another purchase order for the engine. You have another purchase order for the wheel. So if you look to the dates here, for example, I take this example. So you see that the order, we should order that at least before 18th of February, and the due date should be the 20th of March. The 20th of March is the date that we need to start the production. When you go to another item, for example, the engine, the motor, you see we should place the order on the 18th of February, and the engine should be available on the 20th of March. This engine has a delivery time of 30 days, and that is why you have to order it on the 18th of February. So this time is calculated based on the delivery time by the supplier for the raw material. What we should do now is to confirm those 3 purchase orders. So to do that, you have here a button, confirm. So this one purchase order is now confirmed. When we look, and you can see it in the list in the tab confirmed. Now we do the other one. We confirm that as well. The last one, confirmed. So of course, before you confirm, you have to enter all the missing items like payment terms, etc. So now I have those 3 purchase order confirmed. And the next thing what we have to do is to receive those purchase orders. Now to receive the purchase orders, we have to do that via the inventory module, and we will do it with the barcode scanner. If you use a barcode scanner, we should select here Good Receipt. We select from location, that is the supplier. We have a stock journal, that means a receipt of raw material items, good receipt raw material. And then we have to select the 3 purchase orders which we just confirmed. This is purchase order. This is the first one. Select this one, fill the products. Products will be entered automatically here. We select the second one, fill the products. They will be added here. And you see here, this is one engine, and that engine you will see you will need to have a specific lot for that. So you select the other purchase order, the last one, and you fill the products, and now you can create the good receipt. So the good receipt has been successfully created, and you can find the good receipt here. Here you have the good receipt. Planned good receipt for the wheel, the engine, and the washer. So this good receipt you have to approve. When good receipt is confirmed and approved, it will go to a status plant. From here, you actually can validate the good receipt. That means you actually have to confirm that the items are arriving in the area incoming inspection. Can be done by clicking the validate button, And here you should receive 1 wheel, 1 engine, and 12 washers. If you didn't receive that, you just put 0 and it will create another good receipt to receive the missing items later on. So here I validate the items. I have here a lot number which I have to scan from the label from the engine. So I validate this here. When I validate here, I actually confirm that those items have been received in incoming inspection. And then from there on, you have to go to the manufacturing module, production, and here you have to create raw material inspection. You create a new raw material inspection form. You give it a number. You use the stock journal, good transfer raw material, because once you have inspected this incoming good, it will go to, from this location, incoming inspection, it will go to raw material warehouse. If it is not approved, it will go to scrap. So you click and you'll find here the good receipt, which has been validated. You click here, it will fill out the items here, and now you have to enter the quantities which have been validated. If this one is not validated, you put 0. If this one is okay, you put 1. If this one is received, 12, you put 12. So that means here you have 1 failed quantity, which is for the wheel. And then you validate this. So now what will happen is that there is a good transfer created here. When you click this, you will see that 12 washers are going to from incoming inspection to raw material. The engine will go from incoming inspection to raw material, and 1 item is going to scrap. We can now go back to the purchase order. To go back to the purchase order, you go to purchasing module, purchase orders. Here you will see the purchase order, one of the 3 purchase orders. We click here and you see that the washers, the 12 washers, has now been confirmed to be delivered. When they are delivered, we can actually copy this purchase order to supplier invoice. So now the supplier invoice is created. We can enter a due date. And we can approve this invoice. So now this invoice has been approved and has to be paid before the due date. You can do that also for the other purchase orders. So this one is delivered, this one is not yet paid, but we have already created the invoice. This one we have to create an invoice as well, copy to supplier invoice, put a due date for payment, approve. Same for the other purchase order. Under the purchase orders, when you click one purchase order, you will see the invoices which you have created already. This one is waiting for payment, and you see also the stock picking. So once you pay the invoice to this supplier, the invoice will change to paid, and this item will be ticked off. Now we are going to see what happens with the manufacturing order. So we go to manufacturing, we go to production orders, and those two production orders have been created. One is for the mirror and one is for the motorcycle. The mirror is one sub-order of the motorcycle. So when you click on the motorcycle, you have a production order for 6 motorcycles. You see here you have a sub production order for that motorcycle, that is the mirror. So the order normally starts on 20th of March. The due date of the order, manufacturing order, is 21st of March. 6 quantities. Then the factory warehouse is production, the QC warehouse is outgoing inspection, and the finished good warehouse is finished good motorcycles. Those items will be automatically created. So now let's continue with the manufacturing orders or production orders. So we had 2 production orders for the mirror and for the motorcycle. The first thing what you have to do is to confirm those orders. So I go to the order for the motorcycle. I confirm this order. I go to the order for the mirror. And I also confirm this order. So now when you go back to the production order list, you will see that you have 2 confirmed orders, which are showing in green. You have 2 orders which are completed, which are great, in gray color. And then you have 1 order which is in yellow, which is a split order. So actually, the function of a split order is to split the parent order and to create some child orders. So here we have a parent order for 6 motorcycles. I can decide to split it in 2 different production orders. I will do that now. You click to this production order. Here on the right side you have an option menu. You click split order. Then you come here. I want to split. I want to make first 2 motorcycles with the starting date 1st of March. So I split this one. Then I want to make 4 motorcycles starting on the 6th of March. And I split this. So now you see this 6 motorcycles are splitting for 2 production orders, one with the quantity 2, another one with the quantity 4. I have now to confirm the split order. If I go back to the production orders, you see that we have now 2 manufacturing orders, one for a quantity of 4 motorcycles, one with a quantity of 2 motorcycles. And of course we have already a confirmed manufacturing order for the mirror, which is 12. You see that this order now is split and that this reference is showing in the child orders. Now I have to confirm those orders, the child orders. I go to the child order, I confirm it. I confirm the other child order. Now when you go back to here, I have here 3 confirmed manufacturing orders. So the next thing which you can do is to go to the Gantt chart of production planning is found in this report tab. You have here a menu item called production plan Gantt chart. So now let's look into the production planning. We will have a look to the parent manufacturing order. The parent manufacturing order, the planning reference here is 0010. So to see the planning on a Gantt chart, you go to the report tab, you click production plan Gantt chart, and then you select the planning for the main parent production order. So you run this report, and here you see the Gantt chart. You have here 3 production orders, 2 for the motorcycle, and you have 1 for the mirror. So now what you can do is actually you can decide whether you want to move this to another date. You can actually also make it bigger. So this is motorcycle, this is the first child production order. You can also do the same thing for this one, move it around. And then you can move this one, for example, here. So you want to have all the mirrors. Actually, maybe before you start the production. So here you have actually created, changed the planning for the 2 child production orders. And for the mirror, you actually can decide to put it somewhere here before you start the child production orders. So you can do like that. Yeah. So here we have the child production order for the motorcycle. One was 2 motorcycles, the other one was 4. And you have also the production order for the mirror. So you can actually refresh this, and when you refresh, it will put the right sequence. Sorry, I will just look into this one. So you run the report, you see the mirror, you see the mirror will be delivered somewhere in week 4. And then you have the first production order for the motorcycle, followed by the second one. And everything will be ready by the 13th of March. So actually, when you move around here, the dates in the production order, they will also change. When you go back to the production order, those dates have been adjusted as per Gantt chart. So you can do the planning of your manufacturing order via the Gantt chart. So now we have completed the manufacturing resource planning. I just go back to the process flow. We have seen how we created sales forecast. From sales forecast, we created stock planning. And from stock planning, we created purchase order for raw material. We created production planning, and we created production orders. We also saw how we can split production order in child orders via the Gantt chart, and then how we can confirm the order. So once we have done this, actually the forecast is closed automatically, and we have also seen how we can receive the material from the supplier, how the raw material is going to income in inspection, and how actually approved material is going to the raw material so that they can be used for production processes. So here we will stop this second tutorial video, and you can see the rest in a third video, which is more related to the manufacturing itself and also to the costing.